Hey, this your boy Robert Brown, Freedom on Fire. How you doing today? Obama did a very, very beautiful speech. I mean, very inspiring. The brother is going out with class. I got to give it to him. Now, you never looked at a person who worked so hard for Obama. I was a part of the 2008 campaign for Hope and Change for Obama. I knocked on doors, I made phone calls, I sweat, almost got bit by dogs, you name it. From Virginia to the countryside of North Carolina, out there campaigning, sticking in those signs in the ground, almost getting bit by a snake, the whole 9 yards. That's the sweat that I put in to get this man into office. And he got in office. And it's sad that the Republicans, all they thought about was, we're going to block him. Why did they want to block him? You know why? Because he's black, man. Stop. You know, I'm not even going to sugarcoat. Because now you got a black man in the most powerful office in the land, and he held that office 2 terms with grace, with class. Now, have he made some great decisions? He's made some great decisions about some things. I mean, he really helped out the economy, was losing jobs by the millions after Bush left office. I mean, the financial structure was about to collapse. They put in new measures like Dodd-Frank, which I'm not a fan. I think we should bring back Glass-Steagall. He did great for us, the company, the auto bailout, GE. Should have been bailing out the American people. Next bailout need to be for the people, not for the corporation. If he would have bailed out the people would have took that money and purchased items to bail out the companies. Wouldn't that have been a good idea that Obama would have said, instead of bailing out companies, I'm going to bail out the people. So if you're working a job, I'm going to give you money where you can go buy your Ford truck. You can buy your Chevrolet Blazer, whatever. Put the money into the people pocket where they only can use it to buy things that's going to lift the economy. Buy a truck, buy that house, instead of giving it to the crooks. Now, with Glass-Steagall not still being in place, and we just got Dodd-Frank, there's a high chance that default, that we may relapse back into a crisis again. Because now we got a president that is very unpredictable. Yes, he's a businessman, but he's a businessman that has been in debt. He appears to be successful, and sometimes that's what it takes. Appearance attracts success. If you appear successful, think successful, talk successful, it should attract success. Donald Trump is a student of Norman Vincent Peale. When he was a kid, him, his dad, and his mama always went to the church of Norman Vincent Peale. So that power of positive thinking is in his blood. So a lot of people talk about he talked big, he don't know what he talked about. That's just how he was raised. But no matter how much he talked, he won some and he lost a whole lot. Now let me get back on Obama. My grade for Obama in his second term, I would give him about an 80. I was going to go 75, but the man did get rid of bin Laden. Problem is now, the people who were supposed to be fighting ISIS and Al-Qaeda, we're funding them to fight the Syrian people to try to get rid of Assad. Here we go again doing this cookie cutter dictatorship. He's a dictator. He's trying to kill his people. We need to go in and save the people. No, the truth is, let's call him a dictator. He's really a liberator of his people. His people really love him, but we need that gold. We need that oil. We need that land. We need to take control of it. We need the black diamonds. We need the crude. So let's call him a terrorist. Let's say he's gassing his people, he's bombing his people, he's murdering his people, so we can have a reason to go in and save them and liberate them when them people weren't asking for us to do none of that stuff. I got people from Libya live in the building where I live in New York. And when it came to Gaddafi, they loved Gaddafi. Gaddafi loved his people. Gaddafi supported his people. Gaddafi sent his people to college. He paid for the college. He paid for he gave them a housing allowance. The people didn't have to pay electricity. It was free healthcare, free education. Crap we don't have. Now, who you think is the better country? Don't let America fool you. We're the land of the free, the home of the brave. We're the most powerful country in the world, and We have rights like crazy, man. It's beautiful how America is, apple pie and Yankee baseball and all that kind of stuff. But other countries, they don't have to go in debt. If they need to go get surgery, they go to the hospital. They don't get set back for it. If they need to get a college education, they don't spend 15, 20, 30 years trying to pay a freaking loan off. That's what we need in America. Obama had that opportunity to do it, and he didn't do it. He pushed for 2 years of college free. That's about the best, and that got denied. So my grade of him is right about 80. Personally, I think he should have called out every Republican that blocked him, tried to block him from really doing something for the people, and primaried them to get their butt out of office, but he didn't. He left that up to the DNC. Healthcare should have been a single payer or something like that. We could have shaved off the military budget or taxed Wall Street with the speculation tax and funded that. It didn't have to come out of American people's pocket. Money is coming out of pocket every day paying for crap that we shouldn't be paying for. He want to push this freaking TPP that's going to cripple trade unions in America and send more jobs overseas. He didn't close the tax loopholes. He's still extending the Bush tax cut, and he's still doing the Bush foreign war policy. And the only difference is no boots on the ground. But yet we're using drones that are killing 90% of innocent people and less than 10% of the people who are supposed to kill. Barack Obama, our great president, I love him. I campaign for him, but I just tell the truth. I'm not like some of you. Oh, he's the greatest thing since sliced bread. He could do no wrong. Come on, man. Come on. Everybody do wrong. Stop it. He had faults. And I highlight the faults. Why? Because I got faults. And if somebody don't highlight it, how am I going to fix it? He's bombed more black and brown people than anybody in history. He's dropped more bombs on anybody in history. We ran out of freaking bombs. And now we went from 2 wars, and he said he was going to shut down these 2 wars. We went from 2 wars to freaking 8 wars right now. 8 interventions. All for gold, resources, oil, diamond. Libya had rare gold. And Libya was going to use gold as their currency and get off the paper dollar, which would have been a threat to our economy. So they had to get rid of the man. But anyway, there's a lot of things about Obama that he did great. A lot. The good outweigh the bad for his number. But the bad outweigh the good for his devastation. We're not as safe as we think we are. When people find our bonds with our American logo killing their kids, their grandmothers, their schools, bombing their hospitals, and they have nowhere to go. And we claim that we're going to help rebuild, and we never do. We haven't rebuilt in Iraq yet. We haven't rebuilt in Libya yet. We haven't rebuilt in Afghanistan yet, and we haven't rebuilt in Pakistan. And we use Pakistan. Haven't done none of that in this administration. But I give him a passing grade of 80. I am a political-minded guy. I follow politics. I follow policy. And I know he do not deserve 100. People who want to give him 100 don't understand political affairs or politics and what goes on around the world. They just look at the good things that can happen, that has been done for me. Well, personally, the black community have been uplifted. We've been uplifted in image. In image. That's it. The gays got more help from Obama. The Hispanic got more help from Obama, even though he deported more of them than Bush. But they got help. The DREAM Act was beautiful. Obama with getting people out of jail for minor offenses. Beautiful. Closing down private federal prison. Beautiful things that Obama done. You know, he's done some beautiful things. But like I said, there's some things that he done. That's why I only can give him an 80. Bobtv grade of an 80. Now I can go on and on and on, but you know, I'm gonna stop right there. So I hate to see the man go. He has to go. I'm hoping that he don't do a Bush or whatever and just chill and relax. I'm hoping that he take this time to really rev it up. Because now you have nothing to prove and really go to work for the black community and enhance the black community. That's what I'm hoping that he do now that he's coming out of office. For Trump, Trump is a mixed bag. You can't believe everything they say in the news. Then again, you can't believe some things they say in the news about Trump. One thing I can tell you, Trump is from New York. He's from Queens. He is not a Southern redneck, a good old boy. He's not one of those. He's a New York former Democrat that got tired of the way Democrats was handling things, and he got fed up. That's why he looked at running Republicans, but he couldn't stand Republicans, so he decided to run as independent a couple of times. Well, he looked into it, but he didn't want to go up against Pat Buchanan, because at that time, Pat Buchanan was the tough man in the independent circuit. So what you're looking at is Donald Trump is really an independent that ran as a Republican, like Bernie Sanders was an independent that ran as a Democrat. He's not going to govern on Republican talking points unless they stroke his ego. And that's what Donald Trump is all about, stroke my ego. I mean, if you saw what happened on the news yesterday, him going back and forth with this news reporter, horrible. Not presidential at all. So, man, you got to grow up, man. You're in the big leagues now. You got to stop that. If you're going to govern, you're going to lead this country. I don't know who your advisors are, but you need to come hire Bobtv. I'll tell you how you do it. And I'm just a country boy from Southern Florida. But you don't act like that. I mean, you just ignore him. You can ask all the questions. You answer the person that you plan on talking to. Anyway, I'm done. My report card for Obama. My hat's off to you, sir. Style and grace, and I can say a million things. My only problem I had with Michelle was her talking about those allegations of Trump over the campaign trail. That's the only problem I had with her. Other than that, beautiful, wise, sweet, intelligent, funny, brought a lot of class. She brought more class than 10 Jackie O's to the First Lady. 10 Reagan, Nancy Reagan. She killed it as First Lady. Class, funny, hip, dancing, the whole nine yards. Everybody could connect with Obama, Michelle Obama. Everybody could connect with Obama. His approval rating is still in the 80s. I mean, not 80s, 60%. Pretty good, pretty good. My hat's off to you, sir. Thanks for what you did for this country. Yeah, you made a lot of mistakes. You done a lot of bad things too. You're no different from any other president, but you did more good than bad. All right? So I'm Bobtv. My report card for President Obama. He could have did a lot more for the black community. He could have did, he's a community organizer. He could have did a lot more activism for the people than he's done. He became in his second term that which he was fighting against, an established corporate insider. And that's where my heroism of Mr. Obama started to decline. He became the normal, established corporate politician. And anybody that look like that that's going to run in the next 10 years, don't run that person, because he's going to get crushed. People need a FDR. They need a rebel rouser who's going to fight for the people. They need a Chavez. That's what they need. And that was Bernie Sanders. All right? So anyway, I'm Bobtv. I'm out. Peace. Holla at you later.